All right. Well, I got 7 o'clock straight up. So we're going to start. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the first of five, I believe it is, webinar sessions as we help prepare you and your unit for summer camp. Uh, Allow me to introduce myself. My name is Andrew Wright. I am the camp director for Camp Rotary. I apologize for those of you that cannot see me this evening. I had a camera mishap about 5 minutes before the start of the presentation tonight. So you're going to have to look at the faces of the members of my team. Presenting with us tonight here on the call, obviously, like I said, my name is Andrew. Ken McCaffrey, I'll have Ken wave. Ken McCaffrey is our Assistant Camp Director of Program. And Rick Kimmel, some of you have come to know him as Commissioner Rick, has taken on a new role at Camp Rotary as our Assistant Camp Director of Administration. So everyone on this call knows I have taken on some additional responsibilities in the Michigan Crossroads Council with pertaining to operations to all of our camps. And so I need to be able to be freed up a little bit in the summer. So Rick is going to be filling in the role of my day-to-day stuff that I would normally do at camp. Kyle Lachana has taken on the role of camp commissioner. He unfortunately had a change in his schedule over at Grand Valley State University and is unable to join us this evening. And then Camp Rotary's camping director is Miss Corey Grove. She's joining us here tonight as well. Tonight, we're going to be going over a lot of stuff. We're going to be going over our payment schedule, parent portal, facilities at camp, some program highlights, planning for camp, our upcoming mix fix, and any staffing needs, and some questions and answers. We are using a webinar format tonight. So what that means is that you as attendees only have the ability to listen. You don't have the ability to unmute your microphones or raise your hands like you normally can do in a regular Ring Central or Zoom meeting. But you all have access to the chat feature, which myself and my team will be monitoring throughout the evening to answer your questions. And then at the end of the night, we will have the opportunity for you to put any other questions you have in that chat. For the sake of time, we do not have the ability to necessarily answer every question that will come into that chat. So if we don't get to your question, please feel free to email me. I'll have Corey put my email address in the chat for you guys, and we will get those questions answered for you. We want to make sure that your summer camp experience is a positive one, and that starts with working through communications right now in the middle cold bitterness of January. So with that, I will try to speak slowly enough to get through the slides, but there's a lot to go through tonight, so I also want to be conscious of our 1 hour time frame. So with that, I'm going to jump right into the presentation. And the first thing that we're going to talk about is the camp payment schedule. Again, this year we have broken your camp payments across 4 months. And instead of having dates that float and move as we have in the past, we're making it as easy as we can with first payments being due February 1st. If you log into your registration right now, or if you have not yet registered for camp and you are looking to register for camp and you're going to make a registration, when you log into the system, it is going to ask for a $50 per person payment. So that is $50 for each youth and $50 for each adult. That will secure your spot here at Camp Rotary. Second payment will be due March 1st. Third payment will be due April 1st. And the final payment will be due May 1st. We will be going through and sending out emails on a monthly basis as we started in November, working on sending out reminders of those dates and the amounts that are due at that time. Like I alluded to, we are currently in the first payment period. Oh, what's going on here? Okay. We are in the first payment period. To log in, you're going to go to that web address that's on your screen. If you don't want to take the time to screenshot it or write it down, that's okay. We are going to be we are recording this for you, and we will also be uploading the slide decks, so that you can have copies of all the slides, and you'll be able to click on the link in that slide deck. But when you get to your registration page, this is how to get there. You will have a payment that is due on February 1st. When you made a reservation for camp, if you have already made a reservation for camp, you had to put down a $200 deposit. You will use that deposit as part of your first payment. The system will make you use any funds that you have. So that deposit counts as part of your total camp fee. So you have some allocations right there in your registration with that $200 deposit. If you have not yet registered for camp, know that $50 per person will be due at that time. There are two ways to make payment for summer camp. The first is with an e-check. This is the preferred way because this does not cost you any additional. This does not allow. This does not cost you any additional funds to process your payment. You simply need a routing and an account number that can come out of a savings or a checking account. And the other way to pay is to use the credit card. If you use your credit card, there is a 2.75% convenience fee for every transaction, and that is not refundable. When you're in the system, it's going to ask you to confirm your numbers. If you put down a registration with us for the 2022 camping season, you were asked to put in an estimate. Camp Rotary has a holding capacity with the state of Michigan that we cannot legally surpass. We purposely close our weeks a little bit short of that holding capacity because we understand that we blow crossovers and arrow of light crossovers and new people join the unit, and you may need to adjust those numbers. The system will allow you to adjust your numbers down. However, it will only allow you to adjust your numbers up if you have if there is space left available in that session. So if you're trying to increase your numbers and it says that you cannot do so, you will need to send me an email so that I can look at our capacities for the week if we have met our state licensed number. And if we have not, know and understand that we will add those for you. Our dining hall is our limiting factor. It seats 360 people. So know that if we go over that 360 person limit, that means that there will be folks that will be eating out on the back deck in our overflow seating area. So just know that going into making those additions to your registrations. I'm going to move on and talk about camp scholarships, previously known as camperships. We've redesigned this process for 2022 and made it easier for families to apply. Scouts do not have to go through their Scoutmaster to make that application process done. Families can apply for those on their own. You can be awarded up to half of your summer camp fee. So the summer camp fee for a youth this year is $350. So you can be awarded up to $175 toward your trip to camp. It is open to all Scouts BSA youth members that are registered within the Michigan Crossroads Council. If you are an out of council participant, unfortunately, our scholarship program is not available to you. Scouts are going to be encouraged to participate in unit and council fundraising opportunities, including the popcorn sale. We want them to be able to show that they are also trying to raise money on their own to make their way out to camp. So that will be a requirement when putting together your scholarship application. The link to submit a scholarship application is there on the bottom of the page. The Application deadline for the first round of camp scholarships is April 1st. So on April 1st, we'll close the system down for a couple days so that we can export all of those applications. Those will be the applications that are considered first. And then we will reopen that and we will continue to award scholarships after that first round until there is no money left through, Corey, correct me if I'm wrong, I believe the last application deadline is June 1st.
Yep, I think that's it. But if they have any funds left, they open it again.
Okay. So there is a fundraising opportunity that I'm going to let Corey talk about. This is kind of her ballywhack, and I guess I'll call it her baby, if we will. But a fundraising opportunity that's available to your units.
All right. Andrew, I think there's feedback. Can you mute?
I can do that.
Oh, I guess I could have muted you. There we go. Last year during the spring, we hosted a Take a Hike-a-thon fundraising campaign for units. We were right in the middle of COVID and popcorn hadn't gone well, and we wanted to offer our units something that was hands-free, product-free, and they didn't have to touch any money, but they could still fundraise and support both your unit's camping activities and also our camp scholarships and camp maintenance needs. So we came up with a hike-a-thon where, as a unit, if you opt in, we'll help create a link for you, and you advertise it online and ask for sponsors to sponsor your unit in your hike. The proceeds are split evenly between your unit and our camping programs. So last year, as a whole, we raised $24,000, which was really great for our first time. And we're going to be having a webinar on just how this all works really soon. I put a link in the chat where you can sign up for the webinar. It's taking place on a Sunday. I believe it's the last Sunday in February. And you can, there it is, informational webinar, Sunday, February 27th, 7 o'clock. And we will also record that for those who can't go, but we'll be adding information to our Take a Hike link as we go. We have lots of templates and things you'll be able to use to promote yourself that we'll be putting there. So keep an eye on it and favorite that link.
Thank you, Corey. Next, we're going to talk about the parent portal system. So the parent portal system is a way for you as adult leaders to put the control of registering scouts for camp in the hands of your parents. It is a 100% customizable program. You can use it, you cannot use it. You can only allow parents to make payments. You can only allow parents to enter information. But we're going to watch a quick how-to video on the parent portal so that you can see how it's used and then how your parents will use it. And then we'll provide you those YouTube links as well so that if you want to go back and review them, you can do so. And then you can forward those links to your parents that are going to be using the parent portal system. So let's see if this works. Hello. The purpose of today's tutorial is to show you how to utilize the parent portal system so that parents can make payments or select merit badges for the scouts in your unit. Parent portal is not required to be used by any unit, but may ease in the summer camp registration process. To view information on the parent portal, once you have logged in to your summer camp registration, click on Additional Actions, and then click on Parent Portal. For your frequently asked Parent Portal questions, click on Parent Portal FAQ, and it will take you to a document that will explain the different things that Parent Portal can do for you and your unit. Once in the Parent Portal window, you will want to choose Use Parent Portal by clicking on the checkbox. Once you have clicked that checkbox, you, as the unit leader, can then decide what you would like to receive reports on and what you would like to allow parents to be able to do for their scout. If you simply use Parent Portal and leave everything else unchecked, parents will be able to enter in all of their child's information, and they will be able to make payments. If you do not wish parents to be able to make payments as part of Parent Portal, simply click the Prevent Parents from Making Payments or Seeing Event Fees checkbox. This is also where you will decide if parents will select classes for their scouts, or if you, as the unit leader, want to select those classes for your scouts. If you, as the unit leader, want to handle the class selection process, then please leave the Allow Parent Portal class selection box unchecked. However, if you would like parents to be able to select the classes for their scouts, then click Allow Parent Portal Class Selection. You, as the unit leader, can then decide if you would like to have an email sent to you anytime that classes are changed through the Parent Portal system. It is strongly recommended that during merit badge sign-up, you leave this box unchecked, and after the initial sign-up window has passed, you then come in, activate the box, so that you will receive any updates that may take place after the initial sign-up period. The final thing you have available to you is to choose when, if at all, you would like an update showing payment and data entry status. This can be done one or multiple days a week, simply by clicking on the checkboxes below. In order for parents to have access to the Parent Portal system, you will need to provide them with credentials. The first thing you will need to do is click on Parent Portal Credentials, and the system will generate a PDF document that you will be able to print off. Once the document loads, print and cut out each card. The attendee name should go to the parent. If a parent has more than one scout in the system, make sure that they receive a credential card for each of the scouts in their household. If at any time you have a scout that drops out from summer camp and they are replaced with another scout, you have the ability to go in and reset the attendee. So, in this case, if Josh Buckle is no longer coming to camp, you can click Reset Attendee. It will ask you if you want to reset the password only, or if you would like to clear all of their data and their password. If you are going to be replacing Josh, you will want to do the latter. As you can see, the youth name has changed to attendee, and the password has also changed. You can then go click on Parent Portal Credentials again, and it will give you a new username and password for the scout that has replaced him. If at any time you have questions regarding the Parent Portal system, please do not hesitate to contact the camp director at your respective camp.
And now we're going to look at how your parents will utilize the Parent Portal system.
Hello. The purpose of today's tutorial is to assist parents with how to use the Parent Portal system in order to make payments, update information, and select merit badges for their youth. Please note that the use of the parent portal system is at the discretion of the unit leader, and parents may or may not have access to all of these features. If your unit is utilizing the parent portal system, then you, as a parent, will receive a slip similar to what you currently see on your screen. It will have an attendee ID number and a password. You should receive one slip for each scout in your household. Once you receive the slip, visit the link that is listed here, which will take you to this landing page. In the upper right-hand corner of the screen, click on Parent Portal and enter in the attendee ID and password, again provided on the slip of paper. If you have more than one scout in your household, simply enter the attendee ID and password for one scout, and you will be able to link all of the scouts together on a further step in this process. After entering the attendee ID and password, you will be taken to a screen that looks like this. On your screen will be the contact information for the unit leader and the payment schedule. If you have more than one scout in your household at this time, you would click on Link My Other Attendees. Use your next attendee ID and your next attendee password and click Add Attendee. You will now have the information for both of your scouts, or however many scouts you have in your household. From this point forward, you will only need to use one of the attendee ID and passwords to access your parent portal. To put in information for your scouts, click on Update Information. In the prompt that is given to you, type in their name, address, and any other information that may be required from them. The unit will already be selected. Please make sure to list any medical concerns or dietary restrictions. If there are none, type none. If your scout will be participating in the first year camper program known as PATH, select if they will be participating in the entire program or only part of the program. If you have more than one scout, they are eligible to receive a sibling discount. Click on Sibling Discount and enter in increments of 25 the number of discounts you are asking for. For example, if you have 2 scouts in your household, the first scout must pay the full camping price. However, your second scout is eligible for a $25 discount. If you have 3 scouts in your household, the first scout must pay full price, but then both of the additional scouts are both eligible for a $25 discount for a total of $50. If you will be applying for a camp scholarship, click on Are you applying for a campership? Type in the amount that you are asking for, which can be up to half of the camp fee, and then click on Application Required to download and fill out the campership application. Please note that families are not eligible to receive both the sibling discounts or the camp scholarships. Your family must choose one or the other. When you have completed entering the information that you know, click on Save, and you will see that your Scouts information has been updated. Do this for all of the Scouts that are on your parent portal registration page. When you are ready to make a payment, type in the amount that you would like to pay, and then click on Pay Now. If you missed any information, the system will not allow you to make a payment. Simply go back to the page and look for the Update Information button to be red. Enter in the information that you have. And then hit Save. If the button goes from red to white, then you have successfully updated the information for your Scouts. Again, confirm the amount that you are paying and click on Pay Now. The system will then take you through the payment prompts. If at any time you have any questions regarding the parent portal system, please contact your Scout Master or the camp director at your respective camp. Hello.
All right. We are going to move on to talk about the facilities and program highlights that we have for our camps. So at this point in the presentation, I will be turning everything over to Rick Kimmel to talk about our camp facilities. So Rick, it's all you.
All me, huh? All righty. Well, our facilities, I mean, they're the best in all the camps that I've ever been to. And when I was looking for camps back in 2009, these are some of the highlights that we saw that attracted us to Camp Rotary in the first place. For one, you got 1,164 wooded acres, a lot of room to explore and have a great time. Those acres, they surround the 50-acre lake, which is fantastic. Clearest lake I've ever been on. Of course, sorry, I am from Illinois, so Michigan does have clearer water than we do. We have a 360-person full-service dining room. State-of-the-art, great stuff. Ken, he does all his nice stuff in there with the audios and getting things going, and Andrew, and it's a fun place to be at for each meal that you participate in. We have 11 program areas that Ken will talk about later. We have 11 campsites featuring 22 subcamps. And we have on-site health facilities, which is fantastic. There are some camps I've been to that don't have those. And we have 3 shower facilities with individual stalls, which is fantastic. You can have your privacy and you don't have to worry about those old-time community showers anymore. All right. Thank you. We do have camp Wi-Fi, which is fantastic for all those people that come here, taking the time off work to be able to be with their Scouts, but still need that Wi-Fi to do things that they need to do on a daily basis. We got a fantastic, huge parade field, huge. Ken does a lot of his programs down there, but we also do morning flags and evening flags there. And a lot of camaraderie out there on the parade field during those times. We have a fully stocked trading post and camp store. Not to be, yay, exactly. Corey's got that going for us. Do that yay thing there. We have the quartermaster for your campsite needs. So you may have forgotten something, you didn't put it in the trailer. We have stuff that can help you out too, so your scouts can have that full experience here at camp. We have the most beautiful outdoor chapel I've ever seen. It's fantastic. When you walk in, you can feel that I don't even know how to explain it. It just gives you a good feeling when you walk in there and look down at that chapel and see the lake behind it. It's fantastic. And our outdoor amphitheater and fire bowl can't be surpassed by anybody else. We have a covered outdoor barbecue pit, which this year we will probably be utilizing for our Dutch oven cook-off. And then we have the adult leader lounge with a work area with internet provided at that point. Again, that's huge with that camp Wi-Fi and that internet for those who need to do that work while they're here at camp so you can be with your scouts. So, Andrew, I'm going to turn it back over to you.
No, I'm going to take it from you, Rick.
Yeah, I'm going to hand it over to Ken, who's going to talk about our program highlights. So, Ken, it's on you now.
All right. This year, we went way back into history when we were thinking about our theme to 1886, when this whole area used to be a lumber camp. So to honor those roots in 2022, this will be known as the Lumberjack Backcountry Adventure here at Camp Rotary. As you can see by Corey's delightful, lumberjack jacket she has on.
I thought you guys would think I was David Powell if I wore mine. David Pyle.
You need the beard. All right. First area we're going to talk about is our path, which is our first year camper program. Scouts will be able to work on tenderfoot first class and second class rank advancements. They'll also have the opportunity to earn up to 3 merit badges. On Thursday night, they will backpack out to our North Camp, where they'll be able to spend the night, have a big bonfire and Cracker Barrel, and put all those things they learned during the week to test out there. They'll also be earning the Fireman Chitin Totem Chip. Next is our Scoutcraft area. Scouts will learn skills such as cooking, orienteering, search and rescue, and wilderness survival. It's also home to our new Man and Dewey program. We'll go into that a little bit later. And make sure you save time for the Mighty Lumberjack competition. Moving on to handicraft. Scouts can discover their creative side as they work on basketry, leatherworking, wood carving, and new this year, textiles merit badge. They will be able to make a personal souvenir on tie-dye night. So you can either pick something up at the trading post or bring any socks, pillowcases, or any other items you want tie-dyed.
Flannel shirts.
If you can find a white flannel shirt, go for it. All right, on to our nature area. It is the best place to learn about the world we live in. Here they can learn about many skills such as plant science, geology, forestry, weather. All week long, the nature staff tend to the turtle pond. So make sure you get out there and try to find the biggest turtle you can catch to bring to them. Next up, aquatics. What better place to cool down on a hot summer day at camp than Lake Beebe, home to the merit badges such as swimming, kayaking, and many more. The aquatics area is also home to the mile swim and the cardboard boat race. Again, trading post, that isn't only to, get those snacks to help you make it through the day. Scouts can sign up to earn the salesmanship and entrepreneurship merit badges there. Going on to our health lodge, hopefully the only reason Scouts need to go here is to earn the Eagle merit badges, first aid, or emergency preparedness. Our shooting sports area, the shotgun, rifle, and archery ranges are some of the most popular places to spend time at camp. Here we emphasize safety and skill training while still having fun and learning the proper way to shoot. One place you would never expect to find at camp is a place like Made. It offers scouts the opportunity to explore the world of theater, movie making, game design. They also host movie night at the Camp Rotary Cinema with free popcorn. And our industrial arts area, which is one of my favorites, being that's where I started off at camp. It is one of the most popular and fast growing areas we have. Your scouts are looking for something interesting and hands-on, this is the place for them. They can learn about welding, automotive maintenance, plumbing, and electricity. And last but not least is our Copen climbing area. It is the best place to challenge yourself and increase your self-confidence. Our Cope area consists of over 20 different elements to challenge you. And don't forget about our 40-foot climbing tower. Next slide. All right, some program highlights. We have someplace. I lost my notes. So every area has evening programs, some type of tie-dye night, Lego night. We have a Highland Games at Scoutcraft area. Make sure you check the program guide and it'll be in your daily newsletter of what's going on that night between 7 and 9. Our shooting ranges all have open shoots in the afternoon and in the evening after dinner. So the scouts working on those merit badges will have time to do some extra shooting. And if you just want to just do some stress relief, come on down to the shooting ranges. We have open swimming and boating, one of the most popular places in camp on those hot days. We have our fishing programs. We have a scout only fishing competition and an adult only fishing competition because we don't want you adults to show up all the scouts in the lake. Our night crawler is our Copen climbing event. You'll in the late evening be going out doing some climbing and zip lining and doing some other challenging games out there. We have some adult specific programs like our Ironman Challenge, our Extreme Adult Leader Award. And new this year, we'll be having our Adult Merit Badge program. Because why should all the kids have fun earning merit badges? Also, our big one is our Manadui. If you have a scout or challenge all your scouts, this is a high skills scout program. So scout skills are needed. Our Wednesday Vesper service after dinner. All other program areas are closed that night. So your scouts will be able to enjoy each other's company down at our beautiful chapel. Friday night is our carnival and family night. This gives a chance for parents to come up to camp and see what their kids have been doing all week. We have carnival games, a dunk tank where we can, get some payback in their Scoutmasters. Rick knows all about how cold that water is. And we also have our dinner picnic down on the parade field that night. And after that is our closing campfire where we'll have skits, an OA call out, and our Eagle Scout recognition ceremony. All right, Andrew.
Thank you, Ken. The purpose of tonight's webinar being January is to give you just a little taste of what's going on. And as we move closer to camp, one of the things Ken will be working on with his program team is highlighting those certain areas and programs. So we will be more specific as we get closer to the start of summer camp. There is one question in the chat that I will briefly address. For those of you that attended camp in 2021, you know that the state of Michigan required the use of patrol pods for going to class. In my meeting last Thursday with the state of Michigan, at this point in time, we are not requiring the use of patrol pods. Summer camp will operate as close to normal as humanly possible. But please know that we are subject to the
laws and regulations of the state of Michigan. So if things do change, which the state of Michigan is hoping they don't, but if things do change, obviously we're going to communicate that with you. But please know that that is out of our hands. I'm going to move on now to a session we call Planning for Camp. I'm going to try and go through these slides fairly quickly. This is kind of a timeline for you guys to utilize as you make your trip to camp. So right now is where we are at in that planning timeline, January 1 to February 1. So what you're looking at is getting a commitment from the scouts in your unit. Are you going to go to camp? Are you not going to go to camp? And then reach out to potential Arrow of Light crossovers and try and get a commitment early. You do have to make your commitments by February 1st. Once you make your commitment, it is locked into the system. You have until May 31st to drop any camper slots that you're not using. However, there is a 15% cancellation fee after February 1st, and that works out to $52.50 for a youth camper and $24 for a full-time adult camper. So when you're making those reservations, make sure that you are looking at and confirming those numbers. We know that it is sometimes difficult to confirm how many Webelos scouts may be crossing over into your unit. That is why we're asking you to have that conversation now. That's why we asked to have that conversation back with our initial email in November. We will continue to take scouts, again, knowing that they may need to eat, or your unit may need to eat, in the overflow area on the back of the dining hall, but also knowing that we cannot surpass our max capacity per the state of Michigan. So try and get those confirmation numbers as close as possible. The other thing to note is that your parent portal system, for those units that wish to use it, will not open up until the $50 per camper payment has been made. That's how the system is set up. So once you've made your initial confirmation, then you can open up and use that parent portal system. Make your first payment on time, please. After February 1st, the system goes into the second phase payment, which is due March 1st. So if you miss your February 1st payment date, when you log in to make payment, it will ask you for $100 per youth camper and $50 per adult camper. So please make sure that you are not missing those deadlines of the first of each month. And then this is also the time where you should be planning your unit springtime fundraiser. Corey talked about the hike-a-thon. There's these spring popcorn sales. And then if your unit does anything in the way of pop can drives, pancake breakfast, spaghetti dinners, etc., you want to be looking at those springtime fundraisers so that you can start those and hit the ground running. Again, Corey's put a link there in the chat to that hike-a-thon information so that you can get your unit signed up if that is something that your unit wishes to partake in. As we move into February and March, you're going to want to distribute the leader's guide to your appropriate persons. Everyone should have received an email from the Michigan Crossroads Council with that leader's guide link. If not, they are all posted on our Outdoor Adventures page. They will soon be posted to your registration page in Black Pug, so that you'll have access to those. But our leader's guide is designed to be split into 3 sections. There is a program section, which you should be giving to your senior patrol leader to work with your scouts on what they want to take and do while they are here at camp. And then there is an administration section that should go to the person who is handling your summer camp registration. It talks about payments, refund policies, etc. And then there is a facilities and services section. Your adult leadership that will be attending summer camp should have access to the administration and the facilities and services section so that they know what to expect while they are at camp. You should also distribute the merit badge offerings and prerequisites in March or by March 1st. because at the end of March, you will have the opportunity to sign up for your merit badges. So keep that in mind, that you want to make sure there's time for scouts to make those selections. One of the tools that will be uploaded here in the next couple of days is a merit badge selection tool. You will be able to access that on the registration page. You will need to collect an additional $50 per youth camper. So $50 that was due on February 1st, and now an additional $50 that will be due on March 1st. That's a total of $100. When the merit badge registration system opens, which we'll touch on here, I believe, on the next slide, if there is not a $100 deposit for that youth camper, the system will not open to them to select their merit badges. So they need to make sure that their payments are up to date. Just like I talked about, make sure you're making those payments on time. On March 2nd, the system will go into the third round payment session. So if you miss that March 1st payment, it is going to ask you for your March 1st and your April 1st payment after that March 1st deadline. And this is also the time when you should be distributing your health forms, your camper release forms, and your DHS clearance forms. We're going to touch on DHS clearance forms next month, but do know that the state of Michigan has changed their stance on those DHS forms, and they are now required annually. So make a note, let your leaders and your parents know that those are now due annually. You will have to renew them every year, and we'll go through that process. I believe it's on next month's webinar. As we move into March, you want to do a couple things. You want to collect the merit badge selections from your scouts. Merit badge registration for Camp Rotary will go live on Thursday, March 24th at 8 a.m. Thursday, March 24th at 8 a.m. You will need to collect an additional $125 per youth camper. That's a total of $225. Your $50 February 1st payment, your $50 March 1st payment, and now your $125 April 1st payment, which is also when camp scholarships or camperships are due. And then at that time, you should hold your final parents meeting to go over your summer camp plans and answer any questions that your parents have. In our, I believe it's next month's webinar as well, we will go over how to conduct a parents meeting and give you some ideas and kind of an agenda that typically works well for folks to follow. And then at that time, you should also distribute your gear lists to your scouts so that they can make sure they have all their gear for camp, and it gives them enough time to go out and purchase anything that they may not have to make their summer camp experience an enjoyable one. Moving into the month of April, you're going to want to make sure you're starting to collect health forms and release of camper forms. I cannot stress this enough. Please make sure that you are making photocopies of these forms and that you are bringing the photocopies with you to camp. The state of Michigan allows us or requires us to keep these forms on file. We will not be returning them to you, and we will not be making copies in the office for you. So please make sure that you're bringing copies with you to camp because they will be staying at camp. You will also need to collect your final camper payment of another $125. That is the total camp fee of $350. You will need to collect $110 from each full-time adult camper for a total of $160. That's $110 paid by May 1st. And that is the initial $50 that was paid on February 1st. And you will want to collect your daily fee of $33 per day from each of your part-time adults and make your final payment on time, which is May 1st. After May 1st, there is a $50 late fee per scout, except for new and Arrow of Light crossover scouts. Arrow of Light crossovers and new scouts are not assessed a late fee. So please make sure that you are getting those fees in and paid on time. From May to June, this is kind of the last stretch, if you will. You want to look at confirming transportation arrangements,
departure places, times, and drivers, and pickup places and times and drivers. From your adults that are attending camp, you will want to collect copies of their youth protection training, their proof of BSA membership, and their DHS clearance letters, which are dated 2022. And if you are coming to us from out of council, you will want to make sure that you secure a copy of your council's accident insurance. Those are things that we need to have on file to allow adults and units into camp. 2 weeks before you come to camp, you should be finalizing everything else, making sure everything is good to go. The SPL and the scribe should complete your camp roster. You are required to submit an MCC camp roster that you write out so that we can compare that roster against what is in the Black Pug registration system. Confirm your final transportation arrangements that you set up in the beginning of June. Inventory your unit equipment. Set up and inspect your tents. There's nothing worse than getting to camp and setting up a tent to find it's missing a rain fly or it has a hole in the floor. So make sure to give yourself that 2-week buffer time to make sure your tents are waterproofed, everything is there, and you are ready to go. All required paperwork is organized and ready for transport. We strongly recommend that you organize your paperwork alphabetically. It will make your check-in process go more smoothly. You're going to call the camp to confirm your special dietary needs. In the past, there was a special online form that you had to fill out if you had a special dietary need and you were coming to camp. Now, those special dietary needs are collected as part of the registration only. That goes back to that setting up the system and making sure that you're entering in your food allergies, etc. But you still need to call the camp at least 2 weeks prior to confirm that, one, we have your special dietary need, and two, make sure that we can accommodate that need here for you. And then make sure that your prerequisite slips are signed by unit leadership or the merit badge counselor. The only way to get your prerequisites approved at Camp Rotary is to either come to camp with an existing partial or have that prerequisite slip signed. If it's not on that slip, we're not going to accept it. We've had a lot of issues in the past with, I call them the dining hall napkin notes that get turned in on Friday and were scribbled with a crayon that someone found in the corner and dusted off. So all prerequisites must be turned in on that prerequisite slip. Again, all of these documents will be updated here by February 1st on the registration landing page for you to download and utilize. 1 week prior to coming to camp, confirm that you have everything in your possession in the way of paperwork. Make sure your unit trailer is packed with all your unit equipment. Your camp roster is reviewed and updated, and that you print out the reports from your registration system. You should print out a class schedule for all of your scouts, because for whatever reason, scouts seem to forget what merit badges they signed up to take. We will not print those in the camp office. Imagine having to print 2,000 schedules. It's not conducive. So please make sure that you print off a schedule for all your scouts. And then for your leadership, there are two reports that you can print from your registration. One is the scout summary and one is the period summary. The scout summary is designed to tell you by scout who is where. And the period summary is to tell you who is where at what time. So those are two very nice reports that make your job of keeping track of your scouts much easier prior to coming out to camp. Okay, let me see. I was hoping Dave Lobbs was going to be on the call, but it doesn't look like he is. So I will briefly touch on MixFix. MixFix is your chance to give back to camp. We held our first MixFix last year. We had about 150 people that came out. It was awesome. We had all sorts of projects that were done, painting, repair, trail maintenance. This is going to be on May 7th. It's a Saturday from 9 a.m. until 4 p.m. We will be providing lunch as part of that process, and the registration link for that is coming soon. As soon as we have that, we will email that out to you. We have a lot of staffing needs this summer, and that is due mainly to the fact that for 2021, with operating under our COVID guidelines, we reduced our staff significantly. We reduced our staff by over 15 people, and we want to be able to provide you a normal summer season, which means that we need to fill those positions. On the screen, you will see all of the positions that we currently have open and available at camp, including director positions, support staff positions, and program positions. So take a look at that screen. Again, you'll have access to this slide deck. But if you know of any scouts in your unit who are ages 15 or older that would like to work on camp staff, have them apply. If you know of any non-scouts who are 16 or older that would make a great addition to one of these positions, please have them apply as well. I will throw that link up here in just a second, but I'm going to put Ken on the spot to talk very briefly about the counselor and training program. Ken?
All right. So if you have any scouts that are interested in working at camp, but can't fill in the whole summer, or they just want to see what being a staff member is like, it is our counselor and training program. They can come spend 1 or 2 weeks living with staff, working with staff, and just basically being at camp as a staff member. They can go through different program areas that are interested in them and learn what it's all about. Andrew.
Thanks, Ken. So the application for both staff and counselor and training positions are available at the link that is on your screen, michiganscouting.org / oh, that didn't format properly, Camp Staff App, APP, Camp Staff App. They will simply select paid position or a counselor and training position. The other thing to keep in mind, one of the things that Camp Rotary is going to try this year is we are going to have a volunteer commissioner corps program. So if you have an adult who is interested in being a camp commissioner for a week, look for some details to come out on that around the March timeframe. We will put you up at a cabin here in camp, provide you your meals for the week, and let you utilize the camp facilities, etc., and serve as an assistant commissioner with about 5 campsites that you'll oversee and take care of those other commissioner type services. As I alluded to at the beginning, this is the first of 5 webinars. The other webinar dates are up on your screen. February 16th is our next one, March 16th, April 20th, and May 18th. They are all scheduled from 7 to 8 p.m. If we run over a little bit, that's okay. If you signed up for tonight's webinar, then you've already signed up for all of the other webinars. That was a request everyone had last year, and that you had to go and sign up for each webinar individually. Now you don't need to do that. If you're unsure if you signed up for more than one webinar, then you can go to the link on your screen and click on the webinar sign up link, and you simply select the months that you want to attend, and then you will get a link for each of those webinars. These webinars are recorded. The recording and the slide deck will be uploaded to the same link that you can see on your page right now, michiganscouting.org / outdoor adventures. Simply scroll down to the Camp Rotary Summer Camp area, and the slide deck and tonight's recording will be made available to you, typically within 48 hours of the end of our webinar session. At this point in time, I'm going to open it up to questions and answers. You can post those in the chat. I'm going to go through and touch on some of the questions that are in the chat. while you're getting the rest of your questions into the chat. The first is, are there any COVID restrictions on tent sharing this year? The answer is no. But again, please remember that we are subject to the laws and regulations of the state of Michigan, and that can change. But right now, you have to follow youth protection standards as it comes to tents, which is 2 scouts per tent. They must be of the same gender, and they cannot be any more than 2 years of age apart. Can we keep a trailer at camp? The answer is yes. You will be allowed to keep your unit trailer in your campsite. However, all vehicles, including the one that tows your trailer back to your campsite, are required to remain in the camp parking lot. Are we going to be using the Camp Dock system for expedited check-in? The answer is no. The Michigan Crossroads Council at this time has severed its relationship with the Camp Dock company. We will not be utilizing that system. We are looking at some other potential ways to see if we can make that expedited process that we were hoping to roll out in 2020 work. But not for now, know that you will need to go through your medical rechecks, et cetera, as part of the check-in process. We're going to touch on the check-in process, I believe, in April's webinar. We had a very good reviews pertaining to our check-in process where you had a scheduled time. We're going to be utilizing scheduled times to check in again. And when you log in to confirm your registration, one of the questions that it will ask you to answer is your preferred check-in time. Please note that that does not lock you into your time, and that time will be assigned to you at least 2 weeks prior to your arrival at camp. Can we take swim tests before camp? The answer is yes. We're in the process of getting that website updated to where you can make that request to do a pre-camp swim check. Once that site is updated, we will get that information to you. We are also in the process of building registration for pre-camp swim checks. All 5 of our facilities in the state of Michigan, between the end of May and the beginning of June, will be offering opportunities to test at our camps prior to coming to camp. Please note that all of our camps do reserve the right to retest anyone for any reason as it pertains to safety in the water. Oh, let's see. Nightcrawler, do they need to have climbing merit badge completed before camp? Our preferred answer is yes. They should have significant climbing experience, which includes already having the climbing merit badge because they are climbing and rappelling and zip lining in the dark. That will obviously be up to the discretion of Ken and his Copen climbing team. So know that just know that we, for the safety, prefer that they already have the climbing merit badge before coming to camp. We will be utilizing the dining hall this year as normal with 3 meals a day with everyone in the dining room. Again, subject to state of Michigan regulations as they pertain to COVID. Does the PATH program get a list of requirements that will be completed? The answer is yes. They are already listed on the PATH schedule, which is in the Camp Rotary Leaders Guide. Our staff will not sign off on rank advancement. The purpose of the first-year camper program at any Scouts BSA camp is to teach the skills that are necessary for a scout to complete those requirements in tenderfoot, second class, and first class ranks. They will need to then go back to their unit and utilize the skills that they have learned to be signed off on by an adult leader in their unit. Let's see. If a troop decides to use the parent portal system, does it need to be for all the scouts in the unit? The answer is the parent portal system will activate all scouts in the unit. But if you do not give the parent any credentials, then they will not be able to access their scout. So you can limit use of the parent portal system based off of what credentials that you hand out. Can we request the outside deck on the dining hall? The answer is not right away. We need to see what we have in the way of people in camp for the week, as well as group sizes. That is a limited seating area out there, so we try to make sure that units that had to overbook are out there, and that the entire unit can sit together if at all possible. The maximum amount of merit badges that a scout can sign up for, Ken, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe it is 8. There are 3 morning sessions, 3 afternoon sessions, and then we do offer some evening merit badge programs that they could potentially do, one from 7 to 8 and one from 8 to 9.
Actually, depending on what merit badges are taking, it's possible to take up to 9.
Okay, so up to 9. Oh, that's right. We have some merit badges that are only 1 or 2 night badges.
Yeah, just remember, camp is not meant to be a merit badge. It's meant to have kids go onto the outdoors and learn other activities, not just come to camp and earn merit badges.
Thank you, Ken. So that's everything that is in the chat. You are going to have lots of questions as we continue through this process, and that's okay. On the screen now is my email address. I know that Corey has also typed that in the chat a couple of times. Email is the best way to get a hold of me, because right now I am only at Camp Rotary in the office 1 to 2 days a week. So email is the best way to get a hold of me. If it's not something that I can get to right away, I have a very competent team. I can forward those questions on to get your questions answered. Please allow about 48 hours for me to get back to you. I'll also let everyone on this call know, and anyone that watches this after the fact, I am not in the office on Sundays and Mondays because we work camp through the weekend. I work on Saturdays. So Sundays and Mondays are my time off to spend with my family. So if you do email or call me on a Sunday or Monday, know that my response is going to be delayed because I'm not in the office on those days. With that, I'd like to thank everyone for coming tonight. We're really looking forward to seeing everyone at summer camp this year. By the end of the day, Friday, everyone who was on this call, as well as every registered email we have for the 2022 camping season, will receive an email that has links to everything that we've talked about here tonight, so that you can access all of your paperwork, you can view your videos, you can find the landing pages, etc. So we will provide that to you, and again, you'll all have that by the end of the day on Friday. Thank you for your time this evening. We know that it's precious to you. And with that, I will close out the evening, and we will see everyone next month. Thank you, everyone. Thanks, Ken and Rick and Corey for logging on as well.